Shadow Work for Beginners, Part 2. Hi, I'm Kyra, here to guide and encourage others to have a transformed perspective as we evolve on this journey called life. In this video, I'm going to go over some tips, prompts, and even affirmations, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I post a video, and just keep watching. If you haven't already, go check out my first shadow work video and then also my results and my updates on the challenge that I did. So 2 different videos that I've done so far on shadow work. Go ahead and check those out. And let's get into part 2. Here are some helpful tips to just consider as you're going into shadow work, if you're new to it or if you're already doing shadow work. Tip number 1. Consider therapy, counseling, or just going to a professional before getting into shadow work. It isn't for everybody to do this on their own, to be able to do this inner work by themselves. So if you feel like it's best for you to reach out to someone first, please do so. If you feel like you can do it on your own, that's great as well. And if you want to do both, go for it. Tip number 2. Keep a journal. Make sure you have the supplies you need when writing, when journaling, like something to write with, something to write on. You don't have to have a specific journal for shadow work. You can if you want to, but just have something to write on and something that you won't lose and can kind of keep personally for yourself. Tip number 3. When going into shadow work, make it a safe space. And what I mean by safe space is be compassionate, be open, honest, and patient with yourself during this process, because it is a process and it can be a lot. And so a lot of judgment may come up, a lot of avoidance, and so much can come up. Allow yourself to just be open to it and make it to where you do feel safe enough to be honest, to be open, and just be compassionate, be patient as much as you can during this inner work. Number 4. I recommend meditating before going into shadow work, and then when you're done doing shadow work, stepping outside, getting into nature, getting some fresh air, and or moving your body, doing some yoga, going for a walk, stretching, working out. And this is typically kind of what I do when I'm writing or doing shadow work. I meditate for about 10 to 15 minutes. I would say at least 5. So that way you can kind of allow yourself to kind of wind down and just see what kind of comes up for you before you go into writing. And then after, you may be very emotional. You may just have a lot that you just released. Just go get some fresh air. You know, take a deep breath in, look around, go for a walk, or just get your body moving. And this is just kind of like a routine I have when I am doing shadow work. And number 5. When you're doing shadow work, when you're answering your prompts, always ask why. That is how you go deeper. That is one of the ways you can go deeper, is asking why. A lot of times when we don't ask why, we seem to be kind of stuck and not really wanting to get to the root of things. But when you ask why, it'll definitely break down those barriers and allow you to get real vulnerable and see whatever you need to see in order to heal, or, you know, in order to just be more aware. Now for the shadow work prompts. Get something to write with, something to write on, hopefully your journal. If not, that's okay. But make sure you have something, and feel free to pause as I'm, going through each prompt. You can just pause, write it down now, or you can come back to it later. Prompt number 1. What is something you wish other people understood about you? Number 2. This is kind of 2 questions in one. What makes you feel unsafe? And the other one is, what makes you feel safe? Number 3, describe a trait that you see in other people that you wish you had, and why don't you have it? Number 4, do you remember a time that you were hardest on yourself? Why? And would you do anything differently now? Number 5, how do I use my free time? And number 6, am I pleased with the relationships in my life? This can be families, this can be friends, co-workers, whatever relationships and interactions you have with people. Are you pleased with them? Are they healthy? Go into detail. I have a few shadow work affirmations. It's like a little bonus. If you haven't already, check out some of my affirmation videos. They're a lot longer, and it's just focusing on affirmations. You can listen to them, you can write them down anytime, any day, anywhere. Same goes for these. If you would like to repeat them after me, you can do so. If you just want to write them down, come back to them later, you can do that as well. Affirmations can be very helpful because you're speaking things aloud, you're setting intentions, especially as you do this inner work and are in this process of healing and learning more about you. The first affirmation is, I choose forgiveness. I choose forgiveness. Second affirmation is, my past does not define my future. The past does not define my future. And the last affirmation is, I am enough and worthy as I am. I am enough and worthy as I am. That is all I have for Shadow Work for Beginners Part 2. I hope you enjoyed those tips, the prompts, and the bonus affirmations. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I post a video, which is weekly. But then also check out some of my other videos. I have more affirmations, I have other videos on shadow work, and more content coming soon. Remember, it's not about perfection, but committing to expansion. Have a transformed perspective.